Hello guys, I hope you guys are doing very well and keeping yourself safe from this COVID. Well, I'm not going to talk about the COVID. It's like all over the world. I'm going to talk something which is very close to me. The experience I want to share the experience. This is basically for all those international students who are coming in Canada, no matter what, from which country you're coming. And possibly everyone has first dream or the first target or the first thing they want to buy when they come in Canada. I hope you guys realize what I'm going to talk. To discuss the very first thing, what the international student or any student who are coming in Canada from anywhere, what they really think or what they need initially. When I came here initially in Canada from India, I'm from India. When I came over here, the very first thing what I need, and it's very necessary and I need it. Like there is no way I can say no. Like the same thing, if you can't live without food, you can't live without shelter, you can't live without clothes, you can't need without your basic need. And this is the one most basic need which you need nowadays. You can't just avoid it. So I'm talking about the phone. Yeah, you're right. The first phone which I bought when I came in Canada. The first very expensive phone which I bought in my life when I came in Canada. The very first phone which I want to buy it. So when I was in India, I really want to buy Apple series phones. And the first phone what I bought in India, that was iPhone 4S. I bought in India in 2013. And I thought that phone will work everywhere, no matter which country I'm going. At the time when I bought that phone, I never thought I'm going outside of India. But in the second place, I'm also thinking this phone will work everywhere. But that wasn't true. Why? Because that phone only work in Canada. That phone, like the phone what I had, the iPhone 4S, that was only working over the Wi-Fi. That wasn't accepting any SIM card. Like I tried Virgin, I tried Bell, I tried Fido, I tried like all the SIM cards, but nothing accepted. All the providers, all the store people, they told me, hey Mith, you need to buy a new phone which is selling in Canada. You can't use, like some phones have some restrictions. You can't use those phones outside of your country. So like I had two things. Either I bought Android or I bought iOS. And I decided to buy iOS because if you go and ask anyone who is using Apple, it's really hard for them to move from Apple to Android. So I had like two to three options, because at that time in 2015 end, like the Apple always launch the new phones in the September of every year. So I came in Canada in 2015 December, and I bought my first phone, iPhone 6s. It was I believe it was 4th or 6th of January 2016. Yeah, that was the day. It was the 6th of January 2016. Why I remember that, I will tell you if I'll get the chance. So I bought my phone, but that's not the story I want to talk. I want to talk something else. For this phone, what I did when I came in Canada, there are very certain situations, there are very certain conditions you have to be inclined. If you comes under those conditions, then you're only eligible to buy phones as an international student, because the very first thing, you don't have any credit history. Second thing, you don't have enough money. Third thing, you don't have any government ID. And And fourth thing, you have to hook up with any provider. It's not same as in India, you just go and buy the phone. And like in Canada, you have two options: either you buy phone under contract, or you buy if you're ready to pay the whole money. So if you really want to pay the whole money, and if you're buying through the Apple, you don't need to hook up with any provider. But if you're buying through any provider, you have to hook up with the provider. You will get the phone within a contract or without a contract, but that was locked by the provider. I'm talking about 2016, guys. I'm not talking about now in 2020. I know nowadays all the phones are unlocked, so it doesn't matter. But at that moment, that phone was locked by provider what I bought. Like, I hooked up with the Virgin and I bought my very first phone. And let me tell you what are the conditions must required. If you fulfill, then you're only eligible to buy the phones. Let's check out in this video. So as per the requirement video which you just saw, those requirements I was about to fulfill, but the main thing where I stuck, I didn't have my SIN paper. Thus, if you guys, like in Canada, you are very well aware about the social insurance number. You have to have the social insurance number so that you can show to them the provider or the booth where you're going to buy the phones. If you don't have, then you have to have a government ID. I didn't have anything because I was new in Canada, and unfortunately due to some paperwork, I wasn't getting my social insurance number. So what I did, I asked my friend. There was like a friend who was living with me in the same townhouse. I asked him if he can help me because he had all his paperwork. He can buy up to 2 phones on his name. So I asked him, I requested him, but there was like another thing. Like, he was asking him, firstly I need to buy my phone. Once I'll buy my phone, then I will help you in buying your phone. And I said, okay, that doesn't mind. And like, when he visited to find his phone, he was looking for iPhone 6s 128 gig. That phone wasn't available. The phone was available iPhone 6s 64 gig and 128 gig, and the phone I wanted. And he said I don't want it. So until he didn't get that phone, I have to wait for him. I don't know how long I have to wait. And I was like running out of time. I haven't spoke to my parents who were in India, who really want to talk to me at that time. And I was like kind of panicking. So I asked my another friend who's from Delhi, and I asked him, if you're going to buy a phone, let me know, and if you help me, I will really appreciate. So what he did, he bought the same phone what I was looking for, and I got under his name. So for that phone, I paid $400 deposit because again, he was the new, I was the new at that time. So we didn't had any credit history. If you didn't had any credit history, you have to pay lump sum amount of deposit. Depends on your credit history. When they're going to run the dummy credit history, it shows what amount that person need to pay to buy that much amount of product. So I paid $400 down payment. I deposited $400 for the phone, and I got the monthly payment of $90 per month for the 1 gig of data with unlimited Canada-wide, with unlimited texting throughout the globe. That was the plan in the 2016. Just think about it, $90 for unlimited Canada flight, for unlimited texting throughout the globe with 1 gig of data. $90. If you multiply by 52 or 53 right now, what is the dollar conversion rate to the INR? It comes around nearly 5,000. So I was paying 5,000 every month for the 2 year of contract. And I was only getting 1 gig of data, man. Just think about it. If you're in India, man, if you're ready to pay 5,000, you'll be getting like, I know it was like $300 or $400 plan where you can get the unlimited data, and here only 1 gig of data. I was like, yeah, whatever, it's okay. I just want a phone so that I can talk to my parents, I can talk to my family, I can talk to my friends and let them know, hey, I am in Canada. So, and I decided, I paid $400 and I got my very first phone, iPhone 6s Rose Gold. That was the phone I really want to buy. That was the phone I bought for myself, and that time that phone value worth nearly $1,000. So you can say in the Indian currency it was 50,000 rupees, and I bought my first phone. The very first phone I bought it, and that was still with my brother because in the next year when I was going back to India, I gifted to my brother. He had that phone and he came in Canada this year, 2019, not in this year, the last year he came in Canada 2019. He sold that phone, like just think about it, 2016 to 2019, 3 years he kept that phone very safe, and we just trade off with the another phone what he bought iPhone 11. So that was the thing, bro. That was the thing, guys. I want to share with you guys, like, how was my experience, what is struggle I faced. And trust me, like, when I completed my 4 month with that contract, when I initially bought that phone, after the 4 month, because at that time we had the one conditions, if you buy any phone within a contract, you have to stay with the provider at least for 3 months, and then you can buy out. If you're buying out there is a mandatory condition, you can't buy out your phone before 3 months. That was the conditions applied on all the telecom sector over here if you're buying any phone within a contract. So when I touched to my 4th month of the contract, I buy out, and I said the $400 deposit what I paid you guys, take that money, close the contract, and I was done with the contract. So that was the story of my first experience when I bought something for myself, the very first thing which I gifted to myself in Canada. Let me know, you guys, how you feel like, and if you're buying any phone, comment below and let me know how you feel when you buy your phone. I know you guys are very excited when you're going to buy your phone. I hope you guys like this story. Thank you so much. Bye bye.